Hey everyone, this is Judi with JLBCrafts. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. In this video, I'm going to be decorating and hand lettering the last week in July, the 25th through the 31st. We are on capital or majuscule letter E, and so I have chosen to go with E is for evergreen and emerald, so yay, my favorite color, lots of green. So for those of you that don't know, there's a sign on the way into Seattle on one of the highway overpasses that says, "Welcome to the Emerald City." And the state of Washington is considered the evergreen state. And we actually have a great big spruce tree in our backyard that we planted when we moved in, and it's just doing great. So I am going with conifers, evergreen trees. I have gone through my stash and I have these. These are actually 3D stickers. So there's a little piece of foam in between two identical layers. And what you can do is peel one of the layers off, peel the foam off and just use one layer. So I'm going to put a few of these in the center. Looks like I need to zoom out a little bit. I'm set up for classic, not big, so there we go. I also have this little box of flaky stickers that I got from AliExpress, which is the Asian equivalent of Amazon, and these are just individual little stickers on a backing. So if you just run your thumb or your finger over the edge, you can see the little backing will peel off. Just individual stickers. There we go. So I'm going to use some of these. I have pulled this washi tape. So another generic washi tape. The brand is Infeel Me. It's again from AliExpress. I'm going to use this across the top just to make it look like there's a bunch of trees across the top. And then of course I had to pick a Simply Gilded washi tape to go along with it. I picked this kind of dusty gray sage green or this brighter green. I think this looks like the little shamrocks on there, so this might have been from the St. Patrick's Day collection, but I think I'll use, since there isn't a lot of this dusty grayish sage green in the stickers I'm going to use, I think I'll go ahead and go with this brighter green. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and get started. Just my normal going with my washi tape along the edge, the Simply Gilded. I do have a link in the description box, a link. If you sign up for her no spam newsletter, and it truly is no spam, you will get a coupon for worth $5 off a purchase of $15 or more, and I get that same coupon. When you're putting washi tape, a long run of washi tape along a page, don't pull it super tight or it will stretch. It's imperceptible, but it will stretch. And then when you unstick it from your desk, it'll contract, and that's what causes your page to curl. And I know, for those of you that are regulars, I know I say it all the time, but I choose to be thinking that I've got new subscribers all the time. So I like to just educate everyone as much as possible. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'll be back. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with pens on this one. Green's my favorite color, and yeah, I'm gonna go with all greens. Maybe I'll throw a brown in there. I don't know. Maybe 3 greens and a brown. That might work. So for bullet points, I thought I would use the little triangles and turn them this way so that they looked like tiny little trees. So let's see if we can find some nice green triangles in here. I know I've got triangles in here. Here we go. There's blue. These pages are from the Rainbow Mega Sticker book. Here we go. These will work. I think I'll go with the lime green and not the minty green. So let's write in our words. I'll grab a dark green tool pen for that. So of course we're going to learn the letter E first. Oops, that's next week. Okay, so there we go. Since I accidentally grabbed it instead. Here's next month, August. So we do have February on here in the F week. So, but the rest of these words are the same as last year. So, okay, so capital E. And then irks. That really irks me, you know? Etch. Who had an Etch-a-Sketch when they were a little kid? I did. Edit. That could be a good one for a planner. Expo, also a good one. Earths. I gotta look that back up. I don't remember what Earths is. And Envy. There we go. All right, I'm gonna zoom in, pick my pens, and I'll be back. So as I thought, picking pens went really, really fast. So not using a Tombow this week. I used a Tombow last week. I'm going to use a Zebra this week in the green because there isn't a brown. So I have Zebra is the brand. Funwari is the style of pen. So that is their brush pen line, the Funwari. Other than the mild liners, some of the mild liners have a brush pen. I have the Weissbrandt Ultra Color. So it's a color brush pen, but the Weissbrandt is the brand. I have the double-ended, the Calligraphy from Archer and Olive. It says this one is maroon, but it's a gorgeous tree trunk brown. So I'm going to be using the fine end on that one, but both ends are brush pen. And then I have the like kind of olive earthy green Pentel brush sign pen. So again, Pentel is the brand and brush sign pen is the product line, the style. So I'm going to warm up with face down here, just like I always do, starting with the Zebra Funwari. And I know I say this every week, but I tend to be heavy-handed, so I like to warm up starting with the firmest pens because those are the most natural for me to use, working as I get more and more warmed up toward the softer pens. If you're the opposite, if you're light-handed, then warm up in the opposite order. So next I have the Weissbrandt. I'm so excited. After a year and a half, I finally have my lowercase f to where I like it. The key for me was opening it up, so starting up high so that the bottom loop and the top loop have a little bit of a gap between them. So next I'm using the Calligraphy, the fine end of the Calligraphy. And then finally, the softest of all the pens I have today is the Pentel Touch Brush Sign Pen. Pretty. I like it. It says Emerald City Evergreens to me. So, all right, let's do a deep dive into the capital E. So here is the Happy Planner version. So you can see overall, it's at a slant. It's at an angle. They're just basically starting, they've got a little bit of a bounce lettering thing going on where they're coming up above the top line. And it also looks like their light ups and their heavy downs are just a little bit out of whack here at the beginning because they're a little heavy even though they're going up. But they're coming kind of up and around, and then they're doing a little curly Q. Heavy down and light up. So you could angle this out a little more and use it as a connector if you wanted to. I like connectors on mine. So then going next to the Tombow free download Fudenosuke lettering sheet. So a little bit similar. They're not going above baseline. They're not going above midline with their end. And they're not doing the little curly Q. It's a little bit less slanted, but still has a bit of a slant. So basically, if you're dyslexic, it's a backwards 3. Next is the Rambo Crayola Calligraphy letter E. So again, so they're starting in a lot further here and coming around, but they've got their heavy downs are absolutely correct. No slant at all to this, but you could see the dot there is the dot is where they start and then they move in the direction of the arrow. So they're basically doing a little bit of a C, lowercase c, and then a bigger lowercase c and just connecting them. No curly Q. Next I have the boxed set also from Crayola that I got. I happened to get mine at Walmart. So here we're back to the little curly Q in the center, and then they're definitely ending out to make it into a connector. So a little bit of a slant on that one. And then last but not least, in the Calligraphy Made Easy book. So here, this is the skinniest one yet, but same basic style. The bottom half definitely looks like a lowercase c, but they're keeping it real skinny at the top. And then for alternates, C, D, E, here we go. So this is, again, much like my C, there's the C that I do. The E is going to be very, very similar. So starting at midline, coming up and around across. So I like to have my curly at the top. Again, if I happen to have a capital C and a capital E on the same page, they look like they're part of the same font if I do my E like this. So I'm going to put a curly at the top instead of in the center. All right, so now that I know what I'm doing, let's go ahead and do it. So starting at about midline, coming light up and across further than you think, around, heavy down, and then to make it look slanted, I need to come further to the left with the bottom curl. So, and then up with my connector. So since I stopped there, my midsection is pretty kludgy and fat, and I definitely bled through, but I'm not going to stop this time. But that's basically what I want. That's got a good shape. Since I came over further to the left with this bottom half, it looks like it's got a little bit of a slant to it. So that's everything that I want. So you can see here, I'm pretty much coming perfectly horizontal in my center, versus here it's angled up a little bit. And I think that helps with the illusion that the letter overall is slanted. And I want the letter to look a little bit slanted because the rest of my letters are going to be slanted, and that way it goes with the rest of the letters. And you can play here with your entrance. If you're doing an entrance like I am, I can play with a little bit more curvy or a little bit less curvy and just see which one I like better. It always, though, again, I've said this before, it changes for me when I'm doing a single standalone letter versus attaching it to a word. Sometimes my decisions on what I like change, and that's okay. Even though a lot of the shapes and the forms of the E are similar to the C, I think they're easier to deal with because you're breaking them into smaller pieces. And if you haven't been choking up on your pen, or if you haven't been consciously choking up on your pen, capital letters are where you really need to do it, because you just got to do these big sweeps that take up so much space. If you're not choking up, you can't reach far enough. All right, let's put it on the word irks. So I've thrown an R in. I don't know if we've done very many R's so far this month, so we're overdue. Okay, so right up into my R. Long, long bunch of lettering there. And the S. Irks. I wasn't liking the way I was ending my S, so I'm bringing it up, and I like that better. Still, after all this time making tweaks, if I can do it, you can do it too. Nothing is set in stone. Alright, let's give etch a try. So as I've mentioned before, I try to come up with a word that's got an ascender right next to the big always ascending, or pretty much always ascending capital letter, so that you can make sure you've got your spacing set up to clear and have them both together. So let's try putting a T, which is one of the big, most worrisome ascenders because you've got to cross your T. So so there's our E, and we'll come put our T right next to it. That, I definitely have room to put a little crossbar on there. I think that looks good. I could even put a little bit bigger crossbar on the T. Even better. It does, though, having the T and the H and even to some extent the K, it does make the E look less slanted. So I think I want to work on pushing this bottom circular form further out to the left. Better. Now they all feel like they're slanted similarly. So one of the things you can play with if you're having trouble fitting your T, your crossbar on your T in, make your top half a little bit bigger and your bottom half a little smaller. So you can see I shifted my center here to a little bit below or right at baseline. It was ending up a little bit above baseline or midline. Sorry, not baseline, midline. And here I shifted it down a little bit to open this space up to give me a little more room to cross my T. All right, let's do another ascender. Let's do edit. Although with this one, the belly of the D is going to create more space, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. So again, just pushing this bottom circular form far enough to the left to make it feel slanted, along with all of these big, tall, clearly slanted, the rest of the letters in the word. Hi, buddy. Keep going. Keep going. Let me get to the end of the page, okay? Hi, baby. Yes, I will get you lunch. Let me write my word 2 more times, okay? Go look out the window. Go look out the window. You can do it. You knew he was gonna show up. Uh-oh. I can't see. And you guys can't see either because it's not focused on my writing. There we go. Okay, so 1 page down. He just jumped down. It's so tempting to keep going, but I probably shouldn't. We haven't done an X in a long time. I'm glad we got an X on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed him some lunch and I'll be back to do my other page. All right, now that lunch is being devoured, let's keep going. So we haven't done an X in a while. I had to get an X in there and a P. So let's try Expo. Ooh, I could tell I took a little bit of a break. Not as smooth as before. That is a very long run, so again, make sure you're choking up way up on your pen. All right, I'm gonna sneak this one way over here in between the 2 P descenders. My P got less and less slanted as I went along. I'm not quite sure why, but all right. So ERFs, E-R-F-S, and ERF, single, is a civil engineering term from South Africa. It's a plot of land, usually urban, marked off for building purposes. So I would assume there can be a plural, ERFs. I like to do 4 letters, and I feel like I threw a lot of S's in because S was something I was struggling with. So it's also an acronym for a bunch of different things. So anyway, let's give it a try. We got another R and another S. I guess it's a little bit redundant since we just did ERCs, where all we're doing is replacing the F, the K with an F, but hey, this is a lot of trouble letters for me, so I'm guessing it's a lot of trouble letters for some of you, and you cannot practice those trouble letters enough. So let's give it a shot. ERFs, not bad. I've definitely made some strides with those 3 trouble letters, so. Not gonna lie, that bottom part of that P is messing me up. And I still have trouble remembering to bring my connector up high so that my S can come around and catch it pretty much wherever it wants. Ooh, that S got really big for some reason. It's a funny looking word just because it's not a normal word for us to see, but I think it's definitely legible. It's not so stylized that it's not legible, so. Okay, and last but not least, N's and M's. I feel like we do those relatively frequently, but I don't think we've done a V in a while. So we've got a V in here, and then we've got the Y descender. So let's give this one a try. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. Envy. So if you're having trouble seeing your V, try making it a little bit pointier so that it jumps out as more of a V to you. A little bit squished, but we got it in there. All right, there we go. Let's put it in my planner. I love pink and green, and so I've got my rose gold kind of pinkish discs on my planner this year, and I think it's just gonna look awesome. There we go. There's my Emerald Evergreen spread. Let's compare it to last year. All the words should be the same. I've got rose gold discs on here too. So here we go. Here is Expo and Expo, ERFs. Oh wow, way better. That was a lot of trouble letters last year, and I think it looks way, way better this year. Oh my gosh, huge improvement there. And then Envy. So good luck with your E. You can do it. Like I said, if you've been frustrated, like with the D and the C and just overall getting your shapes to look good, give E a try. Like I said, it's chunked up into two halves, so it's a little bit easier, I think, than the C, which is one great big curve, or the D. So keep tagging me. I love adding your hard work to my Instagram feed so everybody can see and we can support each other through showing our results. I hope you like this video. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.